Have you ever caught yourself cooing at your pet in a high-pitched voice, asking questions like, "Who's a good boy?" Or, "Does Fluffy want some belly rubs?" So you're not alone. This phenomenon, known as pet-directed speech or fur baby talk, is a common behavior among pet owners. But why do we do it, and is there any scientific basis for this seemingly silly habit? As it turns out, there's more to pet-directed speech than meets the eye. The origins of pet-directed speech. To understand pet-directed speech, we must first look at its predecessor, infant-directed speech, commonly known as baby talk. Humans have been using baby talk with their infants since time immemorial. This specialized form of communication serves several important purposes in child development, including helping babies learn language and fostering emotional bonds between parent and child. Pet-directed speech appears to be an extension of this innate human behavior. Many pet owners view their animals as surrogate children, leading them to adopt similar communication patterns. This tendency is so widespread that researchers have begun to study it in earnest, coining the term pet-directed speech to describe this unique form of interspecies communication. Characteristics of pet-directed speech. Pet-directed speech shares many similarities with infant-directed speech. When addressing their furry companions, people tend to speak more slowly, use a higher pitch, exaggerate vowel sounds, employ simplified phrasing, ask questions and provide answers. These characteristics create a distinct vocal pattern that sets pet-directed speech apart from normal adult conversation. But why do we instinctively adopt this style of speech when talking to our pets? The purpose of pet-directed speech. While it may seem frivolous, pet-directed speech serves several important functions in human-animal interactions. Attention grabbing. The high-pitched, exaggerated nature of pet-directed speech is difficult for animals to ignore. This helps pet owners capture and maintain their pet's attention, which is crucial for training and communication. Behavioral control. By using a distinct vocal pattern, pet owners can more effectively convey commands and expectations to their animals. Affection expression. Pet-directed speech is a way for humans to show love and affection towards their animal companions. The softer, more melodic tones convey warmth and caring, establishing friendly intentions. When interacting with unfamiliar animals, using pet-directed speech can help signal non-threatening intentions, potentially putting the animal at ease. Vocabulary building. Although pets can't speak human languages, many can learn to understand a significant number of words. The average dog, for instance, is believed to comprehend around 165 words. Pet-directed speech, with its emphasis on clear enunciation and repetition, may aid in this learning process. The impact on pets. Interestingly, research suggests that pet-directed speech isn't just beneficial for humans. It also has positive effects on the animals themselves. Studies have shown that improved attention. Pets tend to be more attentive when addressed using pet-directed speech. This increased focus can be helpful in training situations and for building stronger bonds between pets and their owners. Enhanced communication. By using a distinct vocal pattern, pet owners can help their animals differentiate between speech directed at them and conversations with other humans. This clarity can reduce confusion and improve overall communication. Physiological responses. A 2022 study found that even horses showed increased attentiveness and elevated heart rates when addressed using pet-directed speech, suggesting that this form of communication can elicit physical responses in animals. Potential hormonal effects. Some researchers hypothesize that pet-directed speech might increase oxytocin levels, often called the love hormone, in both pets and humans. While more research is needed to confirm this, it suggests that these interactions could have biochemical benefits for both parties. Familiarity from early life. Interestingly, pet-directed speech may be familiar to some animals from their own early development. There's evidence to suggest that some mammals, including dogs and cats, use similar vocalizations when communicating with their offspring. The evolutionary perspective. From an evolutionary standpoint, the development of pet-directed speech is fascinating. Humans have lived alongside domesticated animals for thousands of years, and our ability to communicate effectively with them has likely played a role in strengthening these interspecies bonds. The fact that we instinctively use similar vocal patterns with both human infants and pets suggests that there may be some shared evolutionary roots to these behaviors. Both serve to facilitate communication, express care, and foster strong emotional connections, all of which have been crucial to human survival and social development throughout our history. Cultural variations in perceptions. While pet-directed speech appears to be a widespread phenomenon, it's worth noting that cultural attitudes towards it can vary. In some societies, talking to animals in this manner might be seen as childish or inappropriate. However, as pet ownership becomes increasingly common worldwide, and our understanding of animal cognition grows, attitudes towards pet-directed speech are evolving. In many Western cultures, the concept of pets as fur babies has gained significant traction in recent years. This shift in perception has likely contributed to the increased acceptance and prevalence of pet-directed speech. As our relationships with our pets become more emotionally complex, our methods of communicating with them naturally adapt to reflect these deeper bonds. Potential drawbacks and considerations. While pet-directed speech can be beneficial, it's important to consider potential drawbacks. Over-reliance. Exclusively using pet-directed speech might limit an animal's exposure to normal human speech patterns, potentially affecting their ability to respond to different vocal cues. Misinterpretation. Not all animals respond positively to high-pitched voices. Some may find it alarming or confusing, especially if they're not accustomed to it. Anthropomorphism. While pet-directed speech can strengthen bonds, it's crucial to remember that pets are not human children. Treating them as such could lead to unrealistic expectations or neglect of their species-specific needs. Social perception. As mentioned earlier, using pet-directed speech in public might lead to embarrassment or social judgment in some contexts. Future research directions. As our understanding of human-animal communication grows, several avenues for future research in pet-directed speech emerge. Species-specific responses. How do different species respond to pet-directed speech? Are there variations in effectiveness between, say, dogs and cats? Long-term effects. Does consistent use of pet-directed speech lead to better trained or more emotionally bonded pets over time? Neurological impacts. How does pet-directed speech affect the brains of both humans and animals? Are there measurable changes in neural activity? Cultural comparisons. How does the use and perception of pet-directed speech vary across different cultures and societies? Therapeutic applications. Could pet-directed speech be leveraged in animal-assisted therapy or in working with animals in stressful environments like shelters? Conclusion. Pet-directed speech, far from being a mere quirk of animal lovers, appears to be a complex and potentially beneficial form of communication. Rooted in our evolutionary history and shaped by our deep emotional bonds with animals, this unique way of speaking serves multiple purposes in strengthening human-animal relationships. While it might elicit a chuckle from onlookers, the next time you find yourself asking your dog if they want to go for a walkies in an exaggerated sing-song voice, remember that you're engaging in a scientifically recognized form of interspecies communication. This behavior not only helps you connect with your pet, but may also be contributing to their well-being and cognitive development. As research in this field continues to evolve, we may gain even deeper insights into the intricate ways humans and animals communicate and bond with each other. For now, pet owners can take comfort in knowing that their instinct to use fur baby talk is backed by science, even if it might occasionally lead to some lighthearted teasing from friends and family.